Okay, so when it comes to learning articles, as I said, theoretical chapters or theoretical lessons will be there on one hand, but on the other side, what you have to do is you have to undergo some practical tests, okay, or you have to take up some practical exams where you have to understand the difference between a, and the. Okay, and also this will help you to clearly understand what is the use of definite articles and what are the use of indefinite articles. Okay, so let us go through the first worksheet now. Fill in the blank with the correct article. I saw dash elephant at the zoo. So you can raise your hands and you can answer. Let us go by order. Okay. Let us go by the order. So you can raise your hands and tell. Okay. Is Fauzia?
I saw an elephant at the zoo.
You are telling two answers. I didn't hear. Can you repeat it once again?
Yes, ma'am. I saw an elephant at the zoo.
Okay, very good. I saw an elephant at the zoo. Good. Now the second one, let's choose the correct article. She is dash best player on the team. Yes, Soundarya.
She is the best player on the team.
Very good. Okay, so best is an adjective in the superlative degree, so we are using the. Okay, yes, moving to the third one. He wants to be dash engineer. Yes, Rakshan. Yeah.
He wants to be an engineer.
All right. Okay. Now the fourth one is identify the article in the sentence. The sun is shining brightly. So what is the article in the sentence?
The is the article, ma'am.
Very good. The is the article. And moving to the last question. Fill in the blank with the appropriate article. Can you pass me dash salt?
Can you pass me the salt?
Yes, can you pass me the salt? So we studied that we cannot use any articles, be it a, an, or the. We cannot use any articles with uncountable nouns. But salt is an uncountable noun. Still, we are using the salt. Why? Because you are asking a specific salt. For example, you are sitting and dining on a table, and there is salt and pepper on the table. Okay, so you are asking that particular salt jar or that particular container which contains salt. That is why you are using the definite article the. So can you pass me the salt? So that would be the correct sentence. Okay, so now let's go through the second worksheet. Second worksheet also has 5 more questions. Okay, so here goes the first question. Choose the correct article. I need dash hour to finish my work. You can raise your hands and come forward.
I need an hour to finish my work.
Okay, yes, what about Soundarya? You have raised your hand. Hmm.
I need an hour to finish my work.
Very good. So why are we using an hour? Actually, hour starts with H, but still why are we using an here? Can you give an answer, Soundarya?
Ma'am, because the word begins with a vowel sound.
Okay, that is H is silent. So the next letter to H is O, which is a vowel, and hence the word begins with a vowel sound, and therefore we are using an as the article. All right, now moving to the second question. Fill in the blank. She adopted dash cat from the shelter. Yes, Sachin.
She adopted the cat from the shelter.
Okay, or you can also tell she adopted a cat from the shelter. A cat is also fine, or the cat is also fine. All right. Now moving to the third question. Identify the article. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Somebody new? Someone new can come? Let me see. Okay. Gopika, can you try? What are the articles in that sentence? An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
And ma'am,
Okay, how many articles are there in that sentence? Identify all the articles.
two ma'am.
Okay, what are they?
And the
Actually, the answer is not two. Okay, Soundarya, can you try?
yes ma'am. The answers are and and the.
The answer is an, a, and the. There are three articles. Okay, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So we are having all the three articles in this sentence. Okay, so what does it mean actually by telling an apple a day keeps the doctor away. What does it actually mean? We all think that if we eat apple every day, it will keep us from diseases. Okay, that may be a good thing. Eating apples every day might boost your health. Okay, it might be like increasing your immunity or your power or strength. But in fact, this saying states that here apple means the food that we all have. Okay, apple in the sense it is the food, okay, or the diet that we all have. So having food every day at the proper intervals will keep you the doctor away. So we must have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and in between we must have some coffee or tea. If you wish to, you can have that. Okay. So keeping a proper diet schedule will always keep you away from the doctor. So that is what it actually means. Okay, not with the literal meaning of having an apple. Okay, it is not just in a literal meaning. Of course, we can also say that, okay, if you eat apple, you will be healthy. That's fine. But the real meaning behind this quote or behind this proverb is having food on time every day will keep you away from the doctor. Okay, now moving to the next question. Fill in the blank with the correct article. Dash Mount Everest is the highest mountain. Yes, Sachin.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you have raised your hand, right? So you can try the fourth one.
The Mount Everest is the highest mountain.
Yeah, the Mount Everest is the highest mountain. So why are we using the with Mount Everest? Can you give a reason?
Because it's a universal noun.
Very good. It's a unique noun, or you can also say that it is a universal noun. Very good. Okay, and moving to the last question. Choose the correct article. Do you have dash umbrella? Let me ask this question to someone new. Akshaya, are you there? Yes, Mohan has joined. Akshaya, are you there? Can you answer the fifth question? Do you have dash umbrella? Okay. Is anyone else interested to answer?
Ma'am, shall I?
Yes, Faustia.
Do you have an umbrella?
Very good. Do you have an umbrella? So this is the right answer because umbrella is a word that begins with a vowel sound. It starts with a vowel sound, so you are using an. All right, guys. So we will just do two activities per day. That will be enough. Okay. So I'm not just boring you with articles on all the classes. All right. Yes. So now coming back. Okay. Today's topic is going to be quantities. Okay, quantities. So quantities is something that we have to know because here we know that there are lots of quantities that we can measure. Okay, there are plenty of quantities that we can measure. There are quantities that can be measured and counted also, but at the same time, there are quantities that cannot be counted, but they can still be measured. Okay, so based on that, we have classified the substances around us into two types, that is countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Right. So for countable nouns, we will use some specific quantities. For uncountable nouns also, we will use some other specific quantities. At the same time, there are also a few quantities that can be used with both countable as well as uncountable nouns. Okay, so now let us see what are quantities first. So this is the question. First question is, what are quantities? Okay, so what do you call in Tamil for quantities? Yeah, what is quantity in Tamil?
அளவுகள்,
Alavugal, exactly. Alavugal is what we call quantities. So now let us see what are quantities. Okay. Quantities are measurements that are used to measure a substance. Okay. It can be any measurement that is used to measure a substance. And there are different quantities to measure different substances. And substances can be divided into two types. They are either countable or uncountable. So some substances that we use are countable, whereas some of them are uncountable. But majority of the substances or things that we use are countable only. Only a few of them are uncountable. Okay. And countable nouns are those that can be counted. Uncountable nouns are those that cannot be counted. You all know the difference between countable and uncountable nouns. So this difference is already known. So now what are the different quantities that we are going to use with different substances? I said that there are two types of substances, both countable as well as uncountable nouns. So to measure these countable nouns or uncountable nouns, what are the quantities that I am going to use? So here is a list of words. There are 10 words, namely some, few, a few, little, a little, lots of, a lot of, much more, and many. Okay, so there are totally 10 words. Here you can see only 9 words. Okay, because of the limitation in the space, I have reduced it to 9 words. Actually, there are 10 quantifiers. First one is some, next is few, next is a few, little, a little. 5 is done. Now, sixth one is lots of, a lot of, that is also a quantifier, a lot of, much, more, and many. So in total, we are getting 10 quantifiers. So some, few, a few, little, a little, lots of, a lot of, much more, and many are the different quantifiers used in English. Okay, so now we are going to check in detail where each quantifier is going to be used. So starting with some. Some is a very common quantity that we use. So some அப்படிங்கிறது in Tamil we generally say கொஞ்சம். Okay, for example, can you give me some water? Can you give me some water? Or can you give me some sugar? Okay. Sometimes we use it with countable nouns also. There are some pens in the bag. There are some books on the table, etc. So from this, what we can understand, countable nouns and uncountable nouns are used along with some. Okay, so sum is used to show the quantity of both countable as well as uncountable nouns. And sum is used when there are more than one. When there is more than one, but the exact quantity is unknown. We don't know the exact quantity, but it is more than one. Okay, ஒண்ணுக்கு மேல இருக்கு, but exact quantity எவ்வளவு கரெக்டா எவ்வளவு தெரியாது. In this case, you can use the word sum. Okay, and it is used to show the smaller quantity of some substance. Sum is always used to show a smaller quantity. So it will be more than one, but it is a smaller quantity where we don't know the exact quantity. Okay, so there are two examples given here. One is with a countable noun, the other one with an uncountable noun. For example, there are some buildings on the road. Okay, so here you can see buildings is a countable noun. So I'm using some buildings on the road. Similarly, in the second example, you can see there is some water in the can. So in example 2, I have used an uncountable noun, that is water. So there is some water in the can. So from this, what did we understand? Some can be used with both countable and uncountable nouns. Clear? This is a very easy thing to understand. Okay, moving forward. Few and a few. Let us study few and a few together because both of them have a very minute difference. Okay. So both the words are used to show countable nouns. Both few and a few. இந்த ரெண்டு wordsமே வந்து we use only with countable nouns. For example, few books, few pens, few friends, etc. And what is the difference between few and a few? Fewக்கும் a fewக்கும் என்ன difference? What is the difference? A few is a positive word and few is a negative word. Okay, so we have already studied this while learning negative words and sentences. Few and little are negative words, whereas a few and a little are positive words. So a few is positive and few is negative. Similarly, when you will study the next topic, that is little and a little, at that time also we will say a little is positive and little is negative. Okay, but that is different. Let us first complete few and a few. Okay, so few and a few are both used with only countable nouns. They are used only with countable nouns. Okay, but a few is used for smaller numbers. So though small, it is enough. So the number is small, just like some. The number is small, but it is okay. You are satisfied or you are contented with what you are having. So that is why you are using a few. For example, I have a few students in the class. For example, right now there are 8 students attending this spoken English class. Okay, so the number is a few only. Okay, I can say that a few students are attending the spoken English class. 8 is a very small number. I expect at least 20 students in every class, but that's not happening. I don't know why. Okay. So anyways, 8 students have joined. I am happy. Okay. Though the number of students is less, It is a few students only have joined the class, but still I am happy or contented. Okay, because at least 8 students have come. But few means few is used for very smaller numbers. Imagine that only 2 or 3 people have joined the class today. Okay, imagine that only Soundarya, Sachin, and Rakshan have joined the class. Okay, so what happens? Only 2 to 3 students are there. Okay, so that at that time we are using the word few. Few students are attending the class. So I hope now you can understand the difference between few and a few. A few na konjam, few na romba konjam. Okay, a few is small, few means it is very, very less. So that is why we call a few as a positive word and few as a negative word. Okay, but keep in mind both the words can be used with countable nouns only. Be it a few or a few, rend may be used with countable nouns. Okay, yeah. For example, I have given 2 sentences. A Soundarya, you can read them.
There are a few students in the class. I have few books at home.
All right. So there are a few students in the class. So students is a countable noun. Similarly, I have few books at home. Books is also a countable noun. Okay, so now you can see the difference. One is positive sentence, one is a negative sentence. There are a few students in the class. This is a positive sentence because I have used the word a few. A few. Okay. Whereas I have few books at home means only 2 or maximum 3. Definitely it is more than one, but maximum it may go till 3 or 4. That's it. Okay. So I have few books at home. This is a negative sentence. So first one is a positive sentence. Second one is a negative sentence. All right. So this is all about few and a few. Any doubts in this part?
No, ma'am.
All
No,
right.
ma'am.
All right. So if you're having any doubts, you can immediately ask. Okay, once I complete the topic, you are always welcome to ask any doubts. Okay, the only thing that I want to tell you all is that since this is a spoken English class, I will not be using much Tamil. Okay, I understand that many of you might find it difficult in the initial stage to understand English, but still try to attend the class regularly because I'm not using any a complex English or any Oxford English. I'm just using a normal communicative English. Okay, so learning these topics is not a rocket science. This is very, very simple, and anybody can read and study this. Okay, even my PPTs are also in simple language only. So I believe that just like my PPTs, what I speak is also easy to understand for you all. And my language is also not very difficult. Right? Am I using any Oxford or Cambridge English? No, I'm using only normal communicative English. Especially as an Indian, we are not native speakers, right? So definitely as a non-native speaker, I also wish to communicate in a very easy way so that my students understand what is the use of speaking in a very complex English or very complex kind of slang if no one understands. What is the purpose of communicating if the person to whom you are speaking does not understand you? Okay, only if the speaker keeps speaking and if the listener just remains blunt, is there any use? No use. So the speaker and the listener, both of them should be cordially connected. Both of them should be mutually connected. Okay, so this is all about few and a few. Now moving to the next part, that is little and a little. Okay, little and a little. Again, what is positive and what is negative? Which one is positive?
A little is positive and little is negative.
Is negative. Yes, a little is positive and little is negative. Coming to few and a few, we use them with countable nouns, whereas little and a little are used with uncountable nouns. So let's see. Both the words are used to show uncountable nouns. A little is used to show smaller quantity. So remember that though small, it is enough. Okay, remember, keep in mind, though small, the quantity is small, but still it is enough. But little is used when there is no much of something. So a little is used to show smaller quantity. Little is used when there is no much of something, just like a few and few. Okay, same context. The only difference is here we are using it with uncountable nouns. That's it. And a little is therefore positive and little is negative. So I have given three examples here. So just let's read them one by one. First one is, there is a little money left with me. Little oil is left in the container. I have little time left for the exam. Okay, so Sachin, can you identify the uncountable nouns in each sentence?
What, ma'am?
Could you please identify the uncountable nouns in each sentence?
Ma'am, I can try.
The examples, right?
Yeah, you have to find it from the examples. Sentamari, I will call you, don't worry. Let Sachin complete and then I will call you. Yeah.
In the first example, little is an uncountable. We can't tell how much it is exactly.
Little is not an uncountable, it is actually a quantifier. I'm asking you the noun. Every sentence has a noun. Okay.
Money,
Yes, money is the
first,
noun. Yes. Okay.
second, oil,
Okay.
and third, time.
Exactly. Okay. Now you got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Yes, Sentamare, do you want to try?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is the uncountable noun in the first sentence?
Ma'am, money,
Money. Very good. What about in the second sentence?
oil,
Oil. And in the third sentence?
time.
Very good. Okay. Your name?
My name is Sai Sardashi.
Sai Shardashri. Okay, fine. Okay, so thank you. So here you can see there is a little money left with me. Little oil is left in the container. I have little time for the exam. Okay, Sai Sharda, shall I ask you one question? Out of these three sentences, one sentence is negative. Can you identify that? I think no.
Ma'am, example one.
No. One sentence is positive. I'm sorry. What is that positive sentence?
Miss example three. Miss
No.
example one. Miss example one.
Example one, very good. First example is positive. Very good. So there is a little money left with me. Very good. So here you can see a little is a positive word. அப்போ ஒரு word positive ஆனாலே the whole sentence will be positive. Similarly, if one word is negative, the whole sentence will become negative. Just like we say no, in a group of friends, if one person is a poison or if one polluting friend is there, then the entire gang will become polluted. Okay, similarly, if there is one negative word or one positive word in a sentence, then the entire sentence will become according to the word, either positive or negative. Okay, so here you can see little oil is left in the container. This is a negative sentence. I have little time left for the exam is again a negative sentence. Now, coming to the main aspect here, many of you will have this doubt. Oil, okay, it is an uncountable noun as we cannot count it. What about this money and time? Have you ever thought of this question? Why we consider money and time as uncountable nouns? Have you ever thought of it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, actually, what happens is that, see, first let me speak about time. Okay, for time, if you want to ask someone, like in Tamil, we say no. In the class வந்து எவ்வளோ நேரத்துக்கு imagine that I'm speaking about the spoken English class. So I want to know the duration of this class. Okay. So somebody is asking me in the class எவ்வளோ duration. Okay. So this question cannot be asked how many times is the class. We can only ask how much time is the class. Okay, when you're asking questions using how many and how much, we use how many for countable nouns and how much for uncountable nouns. How many pens, how many pencils, how many books, how many chairs, how many tables, etc. But how much is used with uncountable nouns like how much water, how much oil, how much time, how much money, etc. So here we don't say how many times because how many times means எத்தனை வாட்டி. That is, you are asking the frequency. For example, how many times you brush your teeth. So you are telling that I brush my teeth 2 times or I brush my teeth 1 time or 3 times. Okay, so here you are asking the number of times. If the question is how many times, it means that you are asking the number of times. But that is not we want. That is not the thing we want. What we want is the duration. You want to know the duration of the class. So the correct question is how much time is the class? How much time is the spoken English class? Or how much time is your exam? You can say for it's for 2 hours or 2.5 hours or 3 hours. It depends, right? Similarly, coming to money. Of course, you count money when you are giving it to someone. When you are paying money in a shop, of course, you count it and only then you will give it. But still, why do we call it an uncountable noun? Because we can never ask how many money. We can never say how many money. That is the wrong statement. How much money is the right statement. So, since you are using how much with time and money, understand that time and money are considered as uncountable nouns. Similarly, we can say a few times. Few times means konjam vati. It will show less frequency, less number of times. Okay? Few times means less number of times. Similarly, we don't say few money. That is also wrong. This is the reason why money and time are uncountable nouns. Always keep in mind these two things are counted, but still we consider them as uncountable nouns only. Got it? Any doubts in this part?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Hmm.
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
So I hope you understood the difference. Okay. Now moving to much and many. This is very interesting. Again, just now we were speaking about this difference between much and many, how much and how many, right? So much and many, you can see both of them are like friends, much and many. Okay, these two words come like a pair. They are like friends. Okay, and much and many suggest a large quantity. Both of them are used to show a big quantity only, but they have a difference because much is used with uncountable nouns and many is used with countable nouns. Much is always used with uncountable nouns and many is used with countable nouns. Okay, so let us see the examples for much. Akshaya, can you read the examples 1 and 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
I have many friends.
not
There are
that the,
many.
I'm sorry, not that, the one in the above under much.
Yes, ma'am. There is not much time for me. I don't have much money to buy a house.
Okay, so there is not much time for me. It means I don't have much time. Okay, then I don't have much money to buy a house. You are not telling I don't have many money. You are telling I don't have much money to buy a house. It means that you cannot afford to buy a house. So this is where we can use much. Time and money are uncountables. Now coming to many. Many is used with countable nouns. So let us see. Fauzia, can you read the examples? Hmm.
I have many friends. There are many buildings on the road.
All right. So I have many friends. So friends, is it countable or uncountable?
Ma'am, countable.
Countable. Very good. And what about buildings? Can we count the buildings on the road?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We can count it, right?
Yes,
For
ma'am.
example, if yes, if you are standing in the junction and you see a lot of buildings, if you stand patiently and if you are ready to count, definitely you can count. So we can count the buildings, we can count the number of friends we have. Okay, so that is why many is used with countable nouns. Okay, so much and many, ivloda. There is no much, nothing much to break your heads here. It's very easy again. Now moving to more. This more is like some. There is one special thing about some, no? What is that speciality? Samமுக்கு ஒரு speciality இருக்கு அது என்னது? It is used with
Both countable and uncountable nouns.
some is used with both countable and uncountable nouns. Likewise, more can also be used with both countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, so more nalum adhigam, many and the much many would same meaning. Da. More is used to show that there is a greater quantity or greater amount of something. And it is used with both countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, so Revati Suresh, can you read the examples?
Yes, ma'am. Example 1. I am buying more cookies. We need more milk. I have more
Money.
more money with me.
Very good. What's your name?
My name is Abhiksha, ma'am.
Abhiksha. Oh, one Akshaya is there, one Abhiksha is there, then one Sai Sharadasri. These three names I have to by heart today. You know what is my homework today? Miss Ina, I am taking a homework for me today because I have to by heart these three names: Akshaya, Abhiksha, Sai Sharadasri. Okay, I will write it and I will learn. Okay, that is the homework for the teacher today. Okay. Okay, thank you. So here you can see I am buying more cookies. Cookies is of course countable and you are using more. What is cookies? What are cookies, Abhiksha? What are they?
Miss,
Hmm, cookies. We don't say cookies. What we generally call for cookies? Yes, Fauzia. Cookies daily நம்ம
Biscuit,
சாப்பிடுறதா?
ma'am.
Biscuits, exactly. Biscuits are called cookies. Actually, in the British English, they call it biscuits, and the American English, they call it cookies. That is the only difference. Okay. So I am buying more cookies. We need more milk. I have more money with me. Okay, so in the second sentence and third sentence, we can see uncountable nouns are used, milk and money. But cookies is a countable noun. But still, you can see more is used with cookies, milk, and money. So, more cookies, more milk, more money, more water, more friends, more people, etc. So, more is used with both countable and uncountable nouns. Now, moving to the last part, lots of or a lot of. Both are same, they have the same meaning. So a lot of and lots of are used informally before countable and uncountable nouns to indicate that there is a large quantity of something. Just like more, this lots of or a lot of can also be used with both countable and uncountable nouns to indicate that there is a large quantity of something. Okay, and lots of is used to show a large quantity of something. That's what I have given it again. Okay, so somebody can read the two sentences.
Miss, can I?
Yes. Yeah.
There's a lot of building. There
There
was
are.
a lots of food at the event.
Actually, first sentence there is illa there are. Okay. What's your name?
Fawzan, ma'am.
Hmm? Sorry. Fauzia's brother. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Your name?
Fawzan, ma'am.
Fauzan. Okay. Okay. So fourth name Fauzan. Okay. Abhiksha, Akshaya, Fauzan, and what is the fourth one? You Sai. Sai Sharadasri. Okay. Sai Sharadasri. Four names I have to by heart. Okay, fine. So there are lots of buildings. Okay, lots of buildings are there on the road. Okay. If you go to Chennai, Panagal Park, T Nagar, no? Panagal Park, I know somebody is from Pallavaram here, yeah? That person will know. If you go to T Nagar in Chennai, especially in that Usman Road, you can see n number of buildings there. Okay, and even similarly in Calicut, there is one, the heart of the city is called Maur Road. Okay, Maur Road, the name of the road is like that, Maur Road, because it heads towards the village called Maur. Maur is not a village, it's a small town. Okay, but the entire bypass kind of road is called Maur Road. If you stand in the mid of Maur Road, you can see n number of buildings there. Okay. Especially see right now, like I am staying in the second floor. I have just opened the window from my room. Okay. Even if I see from this room, I can see some parts of Maur Road from this through this window. Okay. So likewise, buildings can be counted. Okay. So there are lots of buildings. If you want to say a lot of, then you will say there is a lot of buildings. There are lots of buildings னு சொல்லலாம். There is a lot of buildings அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். Or you can say there was a lot of food at the event or there were lots of food at the event. I will just make a correction here. See, you can see. First one is there are lots of buildings. Second one is there was a lot of or lots of food at the event. I can create one more example. See that there is a lot of there is a lot of garbage in the bin. For example, there is a lot of garbage in the bin. So this is again an example. So a lot of அப்படிங்கும்போது is use பண்றோம். There is a lot of garbage. Similarly, there was a lot of food at the event. There are lots of. அப்போ lot of a lot of அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது is use பண்றோம் இல்ல was use பண்றோம். Lots of அப்படிங்கும்போது plural. அப்போ are were use பண்றோம். Got it? So with this we have completed the quantifiers, guys. So this is a small table showing you the differentiation between countable and uncountable nouns. In the first box, you can see the countable nouns, and the second part, you can see uncountable. So words like pen, pens, pencil, pencils, book, books, table, tables, then chair, chairs, phone, phones, bottle, bottles, all these are countable nouns. So understand one thing, countable nouns மட்டும்தான் நமக்கு வந்து சிங்குலராகவும் ப்ளூரலாகவும் எழுத முடியும். Only countable nouns can be written as singular and plural. Uncountable nouns cannot be written as singular and plural. There is only one form for uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns will only have one form, that is neither singular nor plural. Okay, that is neither singular nor plural. But countable nouns are not like that. They can be either singular or plural. But uncountable nouns are neither singular nor plural. I hope you understood. Either or நான் இங்கே சொல்றேன், அங்க neither nor அப்படிங்கிறேன். Okay. So you can see uncountable nouns are like water, oil, sugar, salt, gold, silver, minerals, metals, all these are uncountable because we can weigh them. Maybe if you buy a gold bangle, okay, you can just measure it, you can weigh the bangle. It may be a 4 grams or 8 grams. ஒரு பவன் அப்படின்னா 1 sovereign means 8 grams. So if you want to go and buy a bangle for 1 sovereign, then for 1 sovereign it will be 8 grams. Okay, half sovereign is 4 grams. Half sovereign it will be no, like no one wears bangles in half sovereign. Minimum it should be 1 sovereign, otherwise it will break easily. Okay, so you can see that gold, silver, all these are kinds of uncountable nouns. Time and money, again, as I told you, they are uncountable. Even for example, you can consider the air that we are breathing. Okay, can we count how much air we are breathing? Is it possible to count the air, how much oxygen you are breathing in, how much CO2 you are leaving out? Is it possible to, you can, maybe some scientists can measure, but we cannot count it. So air is again an uncountable noun. Gases, different kinds of gases. In chemistry, you will be learning a lot of gases. All the gases are again uncountable nouns. All right. So this is how we have to differentiate between countable and uncountable nouns. So with this, this chapter is completed. Actually, this chapter can be completed in half an hour, you know. I just started at 10:05 or something. Yes, we completed it by 10:40. Okay. I gave you some more examples. That is why we took 35 minutes. Otherwise, we can just complete it in 20 or 25 minutes. But you have to understand the concept, right? Now, I will just take you to some question words where you will be getting a deeper understanding about how to ask questions for countable and uncountable nouns. And questions are using the words how many, how much, how long, how far, and how often. Okay. Before this, let me ask you, what are the question words that we commonly use? Can somebody tell all the question words? We have already studied this 4 or 5 classes back. Okay, I will give chances to each one by one. Let us see. You all should tell the question words. WH question words. Let me start with Soundarya.
What, which, when, where, how long, how often,
Here you can exclude this how many, how much, how long. Other விட்டுருங்க. You just tell the single words. Okay.
how,
So what?
what, which, where, when. Ma'am, that's it, ma'am.
Hmm. Okay. Sachin.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you just name the question words one by one?
Yes, ma'am.
You just tell
How?
whatever you remember. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I wasn't added in the group that time, so I couldn't attend the lecture.
Actually, just question words are nothing but the WH words. No, actually, you don't need to attend the class to answer this. It's very easy.
Ma'am, I can try.
Why, what,
Wait, I will
where,
call you. Yes,
why,
Sachin, I'm
what,
sorry. Can you please come
why,
back? Hmm.
yes, ma'am. Why, what,
Hmm.
where, whenever, how many, how much, um,
Actually, okay. Whenever is not a question word. When is a question word? Whenever is not a question word. Okay.
okay, ma'am.
Okay. Actually, now what I'm asking is, forget this how many, how much, how long, how far, and how often. You forget these five words. These are called question phrases. Forget these question phrases. You just name that first few WH question words which are in single words. Yes, Sai Sharda, you can try.
When, where, why, what, which,
Hmm.
how many.
Adu venda. How many other vitranga? How? You told till how. Okay. That's good. Yes. Fauzia, can you try? Okay. So let me give you at least how many question words are there? Does anyone know that? How many WH question words are there? Apart from this, how many, how much,
Ma'am,
etc.
14. Ma'am, I want try.
14. 14 questions. Yes, actually, I will come back to you. 14 is the correct answer. That is including this how many, how much, how long, how far, and how
Maybe
often.
9, ma'am.
9 is the number of question words as independent words, and including by adding this how many, how much, how long, how far, and how often, it becomes 14. Okay. So yes, one last chance we will give it to Akshaya. After that, I will just give you the answer. Yes, Akshaya, you can try the
Yes,
What,
ma'am.
ma'am?
Akshaya. No, I was asking, calling Akshaya.
What, how, what, why, where, who,
Good.
why, when,
Hmm.
what.
Okay, so Akshaya answered 7 out of 9. Very good. Actually, there are 9 question words. Nobody told me who, whose, and whom. Only Akshaya told me who. Okay, who, whose, whom. Don't forget those 3 words because it just comes like a pattern. Okay, so how to easily remember the WH question words? Let me give you a pattern. Always start with the question word what, because it is a common tendency for human beings. It's a natural tendency for us to ask a question with what if someone tells you to ask the question. If I simply ask one person, just make an interrogative sentence. Okay, just ask a WH question. What will be the first question that comes to your mind?
What is your name?
Mostly, this is the question. 99% of the people will go for this question only. Okay, so what is the first WH word that you can study or that you can keep in your mind? Next to the watch, you can learn. Next to what, you can go for which. Because what and which are very similar to here, but they have a minor difference between them. Okay, what to which there is a difference, but still, இது ரெண்டுக்கும் பார்க்கறதுக்கு it remains the same. Okay. So what, which, இது ரெண்டும் ஒரு pair ஆச்சு. When and where. When and where. That becomes the second pair. Coming to the third part, you can learn who, whose, and whom. Who, whose, and whom. Okay. So what, which, when, where, who, whose, whom. It's now 7. Eighth one is why. Asking for a reason. Why are you late? Why did you go to school? Why didn't you come to my home? You're asking for a reason. Why? And the last one is how. Always keep how as the last word because it does not have W. Howல W இருக்கா? இருக்கு, not in the beginning but at the end. இல்லையா? Beginningல W இல்ல. But we call it a WH question word only because all the other words are WH. That is why we consider how also in that category. Okay, so what, which, when, where, who, whose, whom, why, how. These are the first 9 question words. After that, we are adding how many, how much, how long, how far, and how often. So in total, now 9 plus 4 becomes 14. Okay, so you already know where to use how, where to use what, where to use when, etc. Now let us see what are the uses of this how many, how much, how long, how far, how often. See, how many is always used with countable nouns. Okay, how many is always used with countable nouns. How much is always used with uncountable nouns. Many, much difference pathom liya. We saw the difference, right? For much and many. Similarly, how many is for countable and how much is for uncountable nouns. Now coming to how long is used to ask for a time, a period of time. For example, how long is the spoken English class?
1 hour.
1 hour.
About
About an hour or 1 hour, all right. Okay. Similarly, if I ask you how long is the exam, you may tell that the exam is for 3 hours or 2 hours, likewise. Okay, so how long is used to ask for a period of time. Next is how far. What is the difference between how long and how far? When how long focuses on a duration or period of time, how far is asking about the distance. It is asking about the distance covered. For example, how far is your school from the house? Okay, so if someone asks you how far is your school from the house, if you don't know the exact distance in kilometers, you can tell them, this my school is 15 minutes from my home. So sometimes how far can also be answered in the form of time. Okay, சில டைம்ல how far னு question வந்தாலும் நீங்க timeல answer பண்ணலாம். But how long is the correct question word for time and how far is for distance. And finally, how often. How often is always used to ask for the frequency. எத்தனை வாட்டி. அந்த கேஸ்ல தான் we are using how often. It shows the frequency. Okay. So now let's go through the questions under each word. First one is how many. So yes, let me call. mm Sai Sharda, you can read the questions under how many.
okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
How many pens do you have? How many pencils are there in the box? How many books are there in our bag? How many buildings are there on the road? How many people attend the party?
Attended the party. Past tense. Okay. Okay, now moving to how much. Okay, just I have underlined all the nouns so that you can see all are countable nouns. Pens, pencils, books, buildings, people, all are countable nouns. Now moving to how much. Yes, Sachin, you can read the examples. Sachin
Yes,
Patel,
ma'am.
you can read it. Yeah.
How much water is there in the bottle? How much salt is there in the packet? How much sugar is there in the jar? How much oil is there in the container? How much time do you have? How much is this kurti?
All right. So here you can see the last question is how much is this kurti? So what is meant by this question? How much is this kurti? I'm going to a shop and I'm seeing a kurti. And if I ask like this, how much is this kurti? What does it mean?
That means asking the price of the kurti.
Okay, does everyone have the same answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So you are asking for a price of something. In fact, instead of asking how much money is this kurti, you are asking how much is this kurti. So it automatically means that you are asking the price of the kurti. You don't have to ask how much money. It means without using the word money itself, it is understood that you are asking the price of the kurti. Okay, or if you are going to a pet shop and if you find a beautiful dog, so you will ask, right, how much is this breed or how much is this dog? Right. Okay, so this is where how much is used. Time and money are always uncountable. Okay, now moving to how long. Yes, let me call. Akshaya, can you read the questions for how long?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
How long this is your class?
Hmm.
How long is your school? How long is the exam? How long will you wait for her? How long should I have to stand outside the class? How long this the school from your house?
Okay, how long is the school from your house? All right, so here you can see all our questions asking for a duration. So how long is your class? How long is your school? Let me ask this question. How long is your school, Saundarya?
Ma'am, do you mean the distance or the duration?
No, no, no. I mean the duration. Your school timing.
Around 8 hours?
Around 8 hours. Okay, so maybe if the class starts at 8:30 and if it ends at 4 p.m. or something, we can say that it is around 8 hours, right? Okay. So how long is your class? How long is your school? How long is the exam? How long should I have to stand outside the class? How long is the school from your house? All these show that you are asking for a period or a duration of time. Next, moving down is how far. Is Fauzia, you can read for how far. Hmm.
Ma'am, I want try.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, we will give chance to everyone. Okay. Yes, Fauzia.
Yes, ma'am.
Please read the sentences for how far.
How often did
How far?
you
How far?
have how okay, ma'am. How far is the school of your home?
From
How
your home.
from your home?
Hmm.
How far is the post office from your school? How far is the market from your house?
Okay, so how far is the school from your house? How far is the post office from your school? How far is the market from your house? Okay, so here you can see that I'm asking the distance. How far is the school from your house? It's 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers. Okay. Similarly, how far is the post office from your school? Maybe you can tell it is just half a kilometer. How far is the market from your house? Maybe I can tell it is 5 kilometers, something like that. You are also always speaking about a distance when somebody asks you a question using how far. Okay, Soundarya, you have a doubt in how long. In which question do you find
Yes,
a
ma'am.
doubt? Hmm.
How long is the school from your house?
How
The
long is
last
the school
question.
from your house? It means that I'm asking the time taken to travel to your school from your house. That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what is the how long is it from your house?
Around 15 to 20 minutes.
Minutes. Okay. So this is I'm just asking the time. Okay. How long is the school from your house means from your house, how much time it takes to travel to your school. That's it. Whereas how far is the school from your house means I'm asking the distance. 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers, etc. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now moving to last one, how often? How often Soundarya itself can read the examples. It shows the frequency. Okay. Yes, Soundarya, please go ahead.
How often? Frequency. How often do you go to school? Every day. How often do you visit temples? Weekly once. How often do you go to movie theaters? Monthly or once?
All right. So you can see how often do you go to school? எப்போல்லாம் நீ எத்தனை வாட்டி ஸ்கூல் போவீங்க இல்ல எப்போல்லாம் ஸ்கூல் போவீங்க? How many times do you go to school? You go to school daily, right? So how often do you go to school? Every day. It's understood that weekends are holidays. Saturdays and Sundays are off days. That is understood. But from Monday to Friday, you are always going regularly. Okay. Similarly, how often do you visit temples? So some people will tell I visit temples every day. Some of them will go only weekly once, or some people go weekly twice, or some people once in 2 weeks. Weekly twice means 2 times in a week. Once in 2 weeks means one time in 2 weeks. Okay, so if it is once in 2 weeks, then it will be monthly. ரெண்டு வாரத்துக்கு
Twice.
ஒருக்கான்னா monthly twice ஆ வரும். Okay. Then how often do you go to movie theaters? So some people will go to movie theaters every month. Some of them will go only once in 3 months or once in 2 months. It depends. Right? So this is how frequency of a person can be asked. How often do you visit your parents? Okay, if you are in a country outside India and I'm asking you, how often do you visit your parents? So we can say that I visit my parents yearly once. Likewise, so yearly once you come and visit your parents. So this is your frequency. Okay, so frequency has to be asked using the question word how often. So don't forget the order to study question words. Question words are always important, especially WH questions are always important. And what are the two types of questions? In English, what are the two types of questions? Yes,
WH questions and yes or no questions.
WH questions and yes or no questions. Okay, how do yes or no questions begin? Can somebody answer? WH questions begin with WH words. What about yes or no questions? How do they begin?
They begin with a auxiliary verb.
They begin with auxiliary verbs. Okay. So shall we just just ask some WH questions and then we will wind up. Okay. Just we will start with one question with each word. Okay. I will just start with what. Okay. What is the price of 1 liter of milk? This is my question. எஸ் ஒவ்வொருத்தர் ஒவ்வொரு கொஸ்டின் ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுங்க உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்ச கொஸ்டின் வேர்டை வச்சு ஒரு கொஸ்டின் ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுங்க ஓகே எஸ் ஐ வில் ஸ்டார்ட் வித் சௌந்தர்யா குவிக்கா பண்ணலாம் அண்ட் தென் வி வில் வைண்ட் அப் த கிளாஸ் ஓகே எஸ்
How long will you take to wake up?
ஓகே ஃபைன் திங்க் ஆஃப் ஒன் கொஸ்டின் வேர்ட் இன் யுவர் மைண்ட் அண்ட் தென் ஃபார்ம் ஒன் கொஸ்டின் ஓகே தட்ஸ் ஆல் வெரி ஈஸி டாஸ்க் எஸ் சச்சின் பட்டேல்
Yes, ma'am.
hmm. Yeah,
What, ma'am?
I gave you a task, right? Hmm. Okay, please do that. Think of a question word and form a question.
Ma'am, shall
Yes, Fauzia.
how much the price of the snacks?
How much is the price of
Snacks, ma'am.
the snacks? Okay, how much is the price of the snacks? Okay, then Fauzia's brother, can you try? Fauzia.
What is your favorite food?
Very good. What is your favorite food? Okay, then Sai Sharda, make it fast, please. Sai Sharda,
What is your favorite fruit?
what is your favorite fruit? Okay, very good. Next, Abhiksha.
What is your favorite color?
Okay, yes, Akshaya. எப்போ வாட் வச்சே கேட்காதுங்க வேற ஏதாவது கேளுங்க யா அக்ஷயா
Do you have a big family?
ஓகே பட் ஐ வாண்ட் ஒன் WH கொஸ்டின் டா இது எஸ் ஆர் நோ கொஸ்டின் டு
Yes,
யூ
ma'am.
ஹேவ் அ பிக் ஃபேமிலினா அது எஸ் ஆர் நோ கொஸ்டின் ஒரு WH கொஸ்டின் கேளுங்க ம் WH வேர்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு இல்லையா அதை வச்சு கேளுங்க எஸ் சச்சின்
How long will you take to reach my home?
ஓகே ஃபைன் தென் ரக்ஷன்
Ma'am, I
ரக்ஷன்
want to.
எஸ் அக்ஷயா
What time is it?
வாட் இஸ் த டைம் ஓகே
Yes, ma'am.
what is the time okay the last one is for Rakshan Rakshan are you there okay Mahendra Kumar are you there
Shall I tell her, miss?
hmm
Where are you living?
where are you living okay fine so Rakshan is not there I guess okay does anyone want to try one last question
Ma'am, I want to
okay
try.
Ma'am, can I?
wait we'll go by one yes Rakshan Rakshan is having some network issue I think yes Abhiksha
Ma'am,
நீங்க மைக் ஆன் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களே அதான் கூப்பிட்டேன் do you want to try again
yes, ma'am, I want to try again.
yes please
How much does it cost?
how much does it cost? Very good. Okay. So yes, I hope you all understood how to use the different question words. So keep using the different question words, okay, whenever you're speaking with your friends.